Kieran McGiver here with Box of Bants Ireland, and I have to say I'm very happy to be joined again by Eddie Treacy. Eddie, it's good to see you again. I did,
Good
I
to see
didn't
you too,
think, I
mate.
didn't, I didn't think we'd be having this conversation ever again, but it's good.
Ah,
It's
it'll
good
do
that
it.
it's good that we are. It's good that we are. First of all, how have you been?
I've been good, yeah. Busy.
Am I right in saying you've had a new child?
I have another baby, second baby, and new house, and so family and work got in the way of boxing for a while.
Yeah, yeah. So if I go back, so the last time I actually spoke to you was in lockdown. And that's when you were boxing Ireland before Stephen and Leonard walked away. And you'd been sanctioned by the BUI to fight Dominic for the Kelly title, and then COVID happened. That kind of
Over there.
fitted away, and then you had been announced to fight in a Mark Dunlop show. And then that didn't happen in the end. Do you want to just talk about that at all?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
bit
No worries.
about the Mark Dunlop, like if I'm right in saying now from speaking with Jay, it was down to a scan. Is that right?
It was an issue. There was an issue with a brain scan. See, I left the medical, but I didn't leave the medical late to get done. It was I usually get it done in Smithfield, and I got this done this time done in a different clinic. And it was basically 3 weeks or 4 weeks to the fight. And when I got it done, they had an issue with it, couldn't get it passed, and then couldn't get it resolved. Couldn't see it. Had to go see a specialist to get it signed off, but couldn't get a specialist in that time frame. So had to get pulled from the fight. Missed out, and then in the end, it turned out to be nothing because I went to see after I seen the specialist. He said it's basically just a different opinion from a different clinic. So missed out on the fight night on Mark Dunlop's show in the October, I think it was, or September. September it was. And that was televised. So I missed out on a fight there. And then if I had come through that fight, I would have been fighting for a title maybe in November that on another TG4 show. That didn't happen obviously because I didn't get past in time. So it was
Mm-hmm.
just basically down to negligence from their point, and I missed out on two big fights because of so a bit of bad luck.
Mm. When it originally happened, was there a fear at all in you thinking like this? I could be done. Like,
Yeah, well, see, I was sparring right up. I know I heard a few coaches saying you're not meant to spar before you get it, like the brain. So I was sparring right up to it. But even the last, that was my fourth or fifth one, and I never had any issues with the previous ones. Um, and I was sparring right up to it as well. Like they say, like if you have a heavy sparring session a few days before, it'll show up things. But uh, no, I wasn't really. Obviously, you have that worry in the back of your head, but I wasn't too worried about it. I just was more sick, missing out on the show. Than anything.
so you've obviously missed it. Like the last
Ah,
time you fought was the start of 2020. That was around February 2020. I want to
20,
say.
20, 21 I fought, October 21. It was just after, the
Oh,
first show back
sorry.
after.
Yeah, 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 yeah. October 21. So you must have really missed it. Like,
Oh, yeah, because what happened after 21, I was meant to fight I was with obviously boxing Ireland then, so I got sanctioned, me and Dom got sanctioned in the end of 2019, I think it was, to fight for a title. Um, and
the
then
very
obviously
s-
COVID.
the very start of 2020.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It was in
Yeah, yeah.
February or the March or whatever. And then obviously COVID came and put the brakes on everything, so everything got put back. And then I got offered to fight in them shows, the boxing on shows in Spain that they had. I think it was 21, early summer 21. But I just said
In
I'll hold
June,
out
yeah,
till the
yeah.
shows are back. And then got offered to fight on that show, fought on that show in October in the Devonish 2021. And then we were meant to fight in the basketball arena. The show was meant to
Mm.
happen in November after that in 21. And obviously COVID and all the COVID passports and everything, all the restrictions were coming back into place. So the show got cancelled, and then everything was up in the air. Then after that, it was 22, and I know there was no shows happening. And then I got offered a fight in Scotland, um, a title fight, a British boxing Celtic title fight. I accepted that, and then there was messing around with the dates, and I kept on getting put back and put forward, and that just nothing ever came of it. And then just didn't really go back after that. Just been got busy with work and got busy with family and everything. Just haven't really been back since.
Have you kept training like in some way since then?
I've been doing a bit. I haven't, not a whole lot now. I'm doing a small bit. Like I did go. see, I was doing a lot of work, getting busy with work, and doing a lot of long hours, and then obviously family, and then I moved into a new house, so I was working long days, and I nearly went up to close to 90 kilo in weight. So I've dropped down a bit, good bit now, but I'm back doing a little bit last few weeks now. Back doing a little bit of training, so taking over nicely now.
Mm. Was your weight cutting coach, was that Graham McCormick by any chance? He's a great one for cutting down from 95 kilo.
Yeah. I
uh,
never usually get it that heavy now. I only usually cut 80 kilo be the heaviest I get, but
yeah.
no, sometimes it's very easy to put on. It's hard to get it off.
So going back to what you were saying there about the when you were sanctioned for the Celtic title, so you were right in the cusp. Like there's a few in the mix there in terms of domestic level, and all of you at that time were like middleweight.
Yeah,
So it was you, Graham, Dominic, then Owen O'Neill was coming into and it was kind of waiting for Ollie's to kind of fight.
yeah,
Since then, pretty much all these have kind of moved up a weight. Bar Owen, it seems to be going back down, but there's a lot more fighters now at that weight, in particular middleweight. And Graham's fought for the Celtic title 3 times. Dominic's fought for a version of the Celtic title 3 times. Owen has a Celtic title. Owen Duffy fought for a Celtic. So you beat Owen Duffy. Owen Duffy was that close to win the Celtic title against Owen O'Neill, because from what I understand, the referee actually had Owen Duffy up,
yeah.
and you stopped Owen Duffy. Was it difficult for you to watch the outside, seeing all these titles being challenged for, and you couldn't do anything about it? Like,
Yeah, it was very difficult to see. Like all due respect to the lads, they got the title shots. It's like they get a few losses and they get to get fight for a title. Whereas I was undefeated, and I know a few of the lads got offered to fight me at the time before COVID, and a few of them refused it. But look, they've been busy. I haven't. The only reason that they've got the opportunities is because they had more activity. They've been more active than I have, and yeah, it is. It was a bit sick looking at it, even though I know I could beat most of them lads. It was sick looking at it, and they're getting title shots and fighting for titles. But no, I'm back now, so few of them better get ready.
mm. So has Jay given you like a roadmap to get yourself back in that mix?
He
To
has,
go,
yeah.
like, as he said, how many fights he's thinking of having it in before
Yeah,
you
well,
start.
obviously having have been out like in 2024 now. It'll be 3 years since I fought. Like when I do get the fight eventually. So obviously he said like a couple of warm up fights, and then hopefully push on for a title, and then maybe do well. And that's just see how we go. Take a fight by fight. I'm not gonna look too far ahead. I just want to get. I know I've been in this game only 5 years or 5 or 6 years, but I know how cruel it can be at times. Like so, I've learned the hard way of some things, but I'll just take it one fight at a time. Let him, he can do the roadmap, but I'll take it one fight at a time.
Um, the when I interviewed you it was after your fight in February 2020, I think it was.
Okay.
No,
October
sorry,
2019.
20. No, it would have been before COVID.
Yeah,
Maybe it was
October
20.
2019.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And I remember you saying, you said, in terms of your career, you said, now the other lads might have a different perspective on the career, but you said, what if you were to win an Irish title, you'd be done. Like you'd be kind of that'd be kind of you walking away. Is that still your mindset?
Yeah, 100%. See, a lot of lads like I'm real about things. Like I said, I'm not going to say things that I wouldn't be able to. Like you see a lot of lads saying, "Oh, I wouldn't be in this game if I'm not going to be world champion." Like, and most of them, like, it's all good saying that, but you won't be. Like, you haven't got the right people behind you, or you haven't got the right backing, or uh, you're not signed with a big promoter. I know you have to start off, but like, you look at
Mm,
some lads and say, "I'm going to be world champion." When in real, most lads, you won't know that you won't be. Like, whereas
mm,
I'm real. I know I'm capable of winning an Irish title. Um, I know my level. I know, and there's a lot of lads in this country that think they're better than they actually are. Until you get in them with a lad that's coming to take your head off your shoulders and see how good you are then. But I know my level, and a lot of lads look down on the Irish title. Like say they don't think that's that good of a title. Like look at the
yeah,
people
no,
who've won.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I don't
coaches-
I can't say I take lightly when people kind of put it down.
no, no.
Like look, I understand like the British Boxing Board of Control Celtic title gives you a ranking with the British rankings, which is really, really credible, like really credible. And I know the Irish title doesn't exactly give you a mandatory position in the European rankings, but it does give you a ranking in it. I just think people are obviously down to the people that have won it. It's like the Celtic title was only created like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So it's the Irish title that really has a lot of the history in it. But I
Yeah.
just don't like it when lads say that they're above that level, or it's still something significant to carry. If you ask someone like Gary Cully, I guarantee he's very proud to have it. Like, you know.
It's huge. It's huge. Your names, you win the Irish title, your name's in the same bracket as Steve Collins. Tyson Fury's won it. You know, all these great fighters, your name's going to be in the same bracket as them.
Andy
You know, and
Lee,
some lads,
Matt Macklin,
Andy Lee, yeah,
Jamie Moore.
all
Yeah.
top fighters, like your name's going to be in the same bracket as them forever, like mentioned for them forever. And some lads saying, "Oh, I want to go above the Irish title. I'm better than the Irish title." Some lads that actually are saying that wouldn't be able to win an Irish title. And I know how hard it is to get. A lot of people, you ask any of the big managers or big promoters that know their boxing, they say the Irish title is one of the hardest belts to win in boxing, not because of not getting the fights, but like it's trying to get them fights made, between two Irish lads that are willing to put it on the line for the Irish title.
Mm.
Well, mostly, yeah, I hate as well when lads look down their nose at the Irish title, thinking that they're above it when in reality they're not.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have and even Deco is fighting for it. Deco's very proud to be fighting for it, and he's something he's always wanted to win, even from like when he fought for it, like the level in his weight class was very, very high. And when he fought like James Tennyson for it, like that's one of the highest level Irish titles you could get, like.
Yeah.
But it's something that's always he's always wanted to win, But back to you, sorry. So am I right in saying, are you going to campaign at middleweight now?
Um, yeah, well, I have to get down to them first. But middleweight, super middle, wherever the fights present themselves, like light middle, we'll see. Like obviously, I did put on a lot of weight during my inactivity. But we'll see. Obviously, middle, but I'd be comfortable at super middle too. Like obviously, I'd bulk up a bit, but I've sparred super heavies, you know what I mean? Light heavyweight, heavyweight guys, super heavyweight guys, and I've been well able, like so.
Mm.
If it is a case wherever the fights present that are one of the most fights that will give the most opportunities, I'll be ready. Middleweight,
Yeah.
super middle,
Mm.
um, maybe light middle again if I can get down to it. But
Yeah.
wherever the fights are, I'll fight. And once Jay is happy and my coach Mark's happy, I'll fight. I'll fight anyway.
Yeah.
But
Um.
obviously, look, I don't like cutting too much weight either, so I enjoy my group.
Yeah. Well, look, there's plenty of opportunities there at both ways, isn't there? Like Graham's a perfect example. Graham fought for a Celtic title at both weights.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
there
definitely
is, and
some. And
even around middle, super middle, there's all great lads now at the minute, and they're all like, very active. So it'd be nice to get in the mix with them guys.
and then Jamie Morrissey as well went up and back him and Kevin. So yeah, it's
No,
really
it'd be
is
a nice
alive.
mix.
Like if can you imagine us having this conversation 3-4 years ago? You'd be thinking, no way is there going to be this many
Yeah,
Celtic titles fought for. Like,
there was no one around. There was fuck all. There's only one or two lads in each weight, like so. You wouldn't have been
uh,
getting these opportunities.
mm. Oh yeah, big time. Um, another big plus for yourself must be with Jay is that Jay's planning to have shows down south. You must be really excited about that.
100%. That's what I even said to everyone texts me after I announced because a lot of people I didn't know whether I was going to go on. I wasn't trying. I was working flat out, and I had a conversation. I bumped into Jay and had a conversation, and he said he's getting back promoting. And obviously, Jay was my first manager back in 2018. Um, so I know Jay well, sparred many rounds with him, still keeping regular contact with him. And then he gave me, when I bumped into him, we had a chat. And then he said, look, he said, if you want to keep going, I'd be happy to manage you. So I had a chat with my coach, had a chat with the miss, see will they want to keep going. And look, I don't want to be in a couple of years' time when I've got even fatter and I said, should have just went one more, give it a one more go, So I want to have no regrets at the end of next year. So I'll give it a go for put everything into 2024 and give it everything I have. And then at the end of it, at least I can turn around and say, look, I gave it everything. I can turn back and have no regrets. Like, so that's
Hmm.
the plan.
Yeah, it's funny because Graham said the exact same thing in COVID. He was thinking, look, I've done enough. I've achieved a lot, and I was going to retire. Even this is before he even won a Celtic title. And then his missus said, you always said that if you're going to do it, you weren't going to have any regrets. You're going to regret it. Like so,
Yeah.
it's. I think it's you hate always seeing that with lads who are packed it in and they're watching it and they're
Yeah.
talking about if
I
I
should
was
know,
there and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I
Um,
don't want to be like that. I want to be just at the end of it, at least you can turn around and say, look, I gave it everything I had, not with any regrets. So I just want to say, like, I've done everything I could have done. So give me a bit of peace of mind at the end of it.
mm. um, someone who you beat, who fought for Cal title, Owen Duffy. He recently retired and he put up a really good performance against Owen O'Neill and was very close to winning the title, but obviously had a very bad knockout. And ultimately retired. Is that ever something that's played on your mind about like longevity in the sports? Thinking has that been the reason why you're like, right, I just want to get in and get my Irish title and then get out? Like,
100%. 100%. People, like, everyone keeps saying, oh, get back boxing, get back. No, you should go back at it. Like, people don't realize what boxing takes, especially pro boxing. Like, takes complete commitment. You know, you can't, it's not a type of sport you can be in a half arse. It takes full commitment. If you're not in a half arse, you're going to be found out, you're going to be hurt. That's what I keep saying. That's why when I'm in camp, I train like an animal all the time. You have to be fit. You have to be 100% committed with your diet, with your training, with your sleep, with your recovery. Everything, everything has to be on point. Because if you don't, you'll be hurt. You'll be found out. And it's not the type of sport that you can, like I said, you can be in a half-arsed. Everything has to be 100%. Because if you don't, you're going to be hurt. And like I said, I want to be. I didn't even plan on being in this long. I wanted to be busy busy 3 or 4 years and have about 20 fights, but obviously it doesn't work like that in Ireland. You need a lot of luck in pro boxing too, you know. And I haven't had much luck, but look, that's what I'm saying. I get stuck in now for 2024 and I'm bailing out then at the end of it. Regardless of title or not, I'll give it everything I have and then good luck.
mm, mm. I'm sure Jay will get you in a shape for a title.
I
You'll be able.
will.
There's plenty of shows now going on, even regardless of the ones that have just been cancelled. I think that there is enough for you and many lads to get a shot. Last thing I was going to say, I was just talking to your cousin, Oshin.
What's
Oshin
it?
just turned over, yeah. Oshin from you, obviously a lot younger than you. He's at the very start of his career. He's only 20. Do you have you seen him box much yourself, and what do you think is in store for him? Like,
Yeah. I've sparred him. I've seen him box since he was a young lad. Same with young Matthew that turned over as well. They grew up together in boxing, so I've seen the two of them fight. I sparred. I was obviously used to him as a cousin. I sparred him, trained with him, cut weight with him. He's a top talent. I wish I had his boxing skills, but I don't. But he'll do very well. He'll do very
mm,
well.
yeah, yeah,
And he has me to give him. That's what I said to him. I said, look, don't get your hopes up in pro boxing because you'll be there's a lot of disappointment, so you have to be ready to accept them. But I told him that anyway, so he knows the sus.
yeah. Is there any particular name that you'd like to fight? Now that there's so many more names now in both weights. So you've like Emma Brennan, Fergus, Quinn, Graham, Dominic, Owen O'Neill, Jamie Morrissey, Kevin Cronin, Craig McCarthy. Is there any particular stylistic you'd like to fight at all?
No one in particular, but like I said, I've been out of the game 3 years, so I'm really in no position. If I was active and I was in the mix with all them guys currently, I'd be shouting names and dropping names left, right, and centre. But obviously, I'm not. I'm not the type of person that screams that I want to fight this because I've had 5 fights. Like, but no, I'll have the army stripes again. I've been out of the game 3 years. Them lads have been very active in the 3 years that I've been gone. So I'm in no position to call any of them out of the army stripes back to Harway. So which is what I plan on doing. When I get back in the mix, then I'll start calling them all out. But like I said in many interviews before, I'll fight anyone, and everyone knows that. I've never turned down a fight in my life. Anyone knows that. So whatever fight comes my way after when I go back in the mix, I'll be ready for any of them.
Mhm. Right. Well, on that, Eddie, great speaking to you again.
Thank you so much, Grant.
Hopefully,
Very good.
hopefully through the grapevine, I'm hearing maybe there might be a show before the end of the year. Could be, could not be Jay's. You never know. But hopefully, we'll see you on a show then. South maybe before the end of the year. If not, then start of next year. But yeah,
100%.
thanks again for speaking again, and good to see you back.
Great to see you, Kieran. Thanks for the time.
Thanks very much.